And out to Labour matters, the Nigerian Labour Congress says it has not reached any agreement with the Nigerian government to shelve its planned shutdown of economic activities in the country from the 3rd of October. NLC's head of information and public affairs, Benson, Upah, said this in a statement, countering a statement by the Ministry of Labour and Employment. Upah also said the NLC did not have any date for meeting with the government that may lead to the suspension of the proposed strike. The NLC also faulted the position of the Ministry of Labour and Employment on the leadership of the National Union of Road Transport Workers. Now, joining me live on the news to discuss this is NLC's Head of Information and Public Affairs, Comrade Benson Upah. A warm welcome to you, Comrade Upah, and thanks for joining us in the news.
It's my pleasure.
Now, Comrade, can you kindly confirm to us if there was any meeting with the Labour and the Labour Ministry earlier this week?
We did have a meeting with the Minister of Labour. I think that was last Monday. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, please. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I said we did have a meeting with the Minister of Labour. I think that should be last week, Monday or so. And at the end of it all, there was nothing on the table. I mean, the demands or the resolutions that we amicably arrived at with the government as far back as June 5th this year, none of the resolutions has been implemented. We looked at the issue of CNG, refineries, palliatives, wage dash, and the payment of outstanding salaries of the university-based unions. There are 4 of them: NATS, the technologists, NASU, and NASU. So up to this moment, as I speak with you, there has been no movement by the government. And we left the Minister of Labour, we left the Ministers of Labour in no uncertain terms. We let them know in no uncertain terms that except something dramatic happens, we will pursue to the logical conclusion our threat of an indefinite strike action.
Now, you just to pick up from where you left of Comrade Upah, you said unless something drastic happens, Mr. President is expected to address the nation on the occasion of its 63rd independence anniversary on the 1st of October. If the president goes ahead to make some pronouncements that might favor or meet some of the demands of Labour, would you call off that indefinite strike? Or as the Labour union cross the Rubicon?
Well, this I must say that we are not a strike-prone people. If Mr. President does the needful, of course, all we want are solutions. Nigerians are dying, they are suffering. Quite a number of our children cannot go to school. Quite a number of their parents have lost their jobs. Some have been thrown out of their homes to residences by landlords. A movement has been difficult. In fact, since the removal of the so-called subsidy and the devaluation of the naira, the massive devaluation of the naira in the name of merger of exchange rates, life has been worse than what Hobbes talked about. We have since moved from life being short, mean, and brutish to a life of pain, paralysis, trauma, and confusion. So all we want is that Nigerians should be made to believe in their country once again. Nigerians have the right to be happy. Okay? So if Mr. President has the political will to extend a magic wand, why not? But take note, we have had meetings, endless meetings, and at some of the meetings, we are personally with him, and on the basis of the respect that we have for him as our father and president of this country, we suspended our actions. But
now, talking about, Comrade Upah, permit me to interrupt you at this point. Talking about suspension of industrial action, I believe the NLC is a law-abiding organization. Now, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, has asked the organized labor to respect the June 5th order issued by the National Industrial Court restraining but the Nigerian Labour Congress and the TUC from embarking on any industrial strike over fuel subsidy removal and related issues. What's your take on this?
He said so. Well, I mean, my take on this is that the restraining order is not a permanent injunction. As the Attorney General of the Federation, he ought to know. And in any case, to permanently stop us from protesting will be injurious to the provisions of the Constitution, which guarantees freedom of speech, freedom of lawful protest, freedom of association. We are not in an autocracy, and no Attorney General of this country can hold the citizenry of this country hostage. That won't happen.
Now, Comrade Upah, during the two-day warning strike carried out by the Labour Union, it appeared there was low compliance. What efforts have been put in place to ensure massive mobilization for the indefinite strike? And do you think Nigerian Labour Congress has exercised enough patience and exhausted all means of dialogue with the federal government, looking at the current economic realities? Because this strike is going to lead to, it's going to have a negative effect on the economy, and also the long-suffering Nigerians you seem to be fighting for.
I do not know where you got your statistics from, that there was low a compliance during the two-day warning strike action. I do not, I mean, because it will not be fair that you sit down in Lagos and assume that is the beginning and end of Nigeria. Having said this, now let me try to explain a few things. It is convenient for people to say that that the strike action will worsen things for the ordinary person or Nigerian. I want to read a few statistics to you. As I speak with you, without the strike action, at the manufacturer's capacity utilization dropped from 57.9 to 56.5 percentage point compared to the first half of 2022. At the situation, at the moment, owing to the massive devaluation of the Naira, the government owes NNPC 7.3 trillion in fuel subsidy debt. The national debt stock rose from 72 trillion to 81 trillion and still climbing. And 2.34 trillion was spent servicing this debt in the past 6 months. As I speak with you, 28 sectors of the economy are on a bearish run. The domestic investors' portfolio transaction dropped to 22.4 billion in August, a whopping 62.5%. Even our signs are showing that it may pick up in September. I tell you that the situation is so bad that the IMF has advised Nigeria to reduce its fiscal deficit by 3% of GDP.
Quite
in order to avoid
a negative situation painting you've painted there, but we'll continue to monitor situations and look forward to Mr. President's speech on Independence Day to see if an amicable situation could be worked out between the federal government of Nigeria and the union. Thank you very much, Comrade Benson Upah, for your time and insight. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.